Technology in the construction industry evolves rapidly, faster than ever. But technology alone does not drive change. People do. Digital construction champions do. Okay, so welcome to Block 5, Amazing Facts. So, Stjepan, give us some crazy numbers, give us some crazy savings. I think you already did something, you already told something previously, but let's put that in this block maybe again, or if you have even more crazy numbers. And
Yeah, crazy number. So first crazy number is that, the database I created with like AI tools has more than 1,700 applications
wow,
that use AI within the AEC industry. And to think about it in another way, this means 1,700 solutions to problems in the AEC. So this is probably the crazy number, just a thing. And I mean, all of this 1,700 comes from me. Like I also most likely miss because I'm just a guy, right? So I miss some tools for sure. Because the truth is that there's over 60,000 AI companies right now, and they're popping up every day. So that's number one fact. Number two fact is that it just shows that at least I mean this is what comes to me as a number are these 700 clients, man, that I got in a year and a half. So everybody who's still like either lost their job at some point or like maybe wants to start their own job, I just recommend to everybody, yeah, go for it. The world is your oyster, as they say. I know it sounds cliche, but like it really becomes your playground. So that's another thing. When it comes to big numbers of like waste, especially, I think that everybody in this industry, I guess, should know or probably knows that we are the largest polluter on this planet. Like 39% of all global carbon emissions are produced by the building industry. But on the other hand, what they might not know is how much we need to build. So we need to build a New York-sized city every 34 days for the next 40 years if we want to house the global population. This means doubling our current building stock. So for every building in the world, we need to create a double
and
if we want to
pollution
house the global population. Sorry?
and pollution.
And pollution. So the question is like, how do we do this? Like how can this be possible when we're polluting so much? And on on one hand, on the other hand, we need to build so much. And what I always say is that it's hard, but it needs to either 10x we need to 10x our employees. So 10x how many people we have working on this problem, or 10x the speed that we are working at. And I think that's most likely solution, all things considered, is the second solution, that we are just like 10x the speed. That's why I believe in AI. It's not only for the, I don't know, the fancy designs, it's actually for speeding up work.
Yeah.
And then the problem of NeoStack, I think that's the final number I would share. Because again, we got more than 200 companies on our waitlist for a good reason. Because we understood that, again, 30 to 50% of all software is unused. The companies we speak with, like they, again, 76% of them admit to over procuring software, like they over get software just to be sure. But this leads to wasting 48% of their annual budgets, typically. It all depends like on your country, because you all have a bunch of countries where people used hack software and so on and so forth. So it really depends. But the numbers I'm referring to are typically US based and maybe Europe based. So yeah, this is what we're trying to solve and help them with, like optimize those costs and understand exactly what they're using, and how and who's piloting what, and especially with the influx of all of these thousands of AI apps that are coming on the market right now. It's gonna get even worse because you want to test, but you don't know how much it costs, and you don't know which part of your budget is that. And try to go and explain to your CFO every week why you need a new app. So this is what
Yeah.
we're trying to help them with. So yeah.
Okay. So thank you for amazing facts. They are really, amazing, crazy numbers. So thank you for sharing information, and let's jump to block 6. Okay, so welcome to block 6, Friends and the Future. I will not ask you many questions because I think you will give the answers better than I would ask you through the questions. So please give us your opinion. And I mean, I know that you're visionary and you see maybe more far than the rest of industry. So trends and the future, how do you see it in in maybe 5 and then 10 years from now? I think it's a hard question 10 years from now because everything is evolving on a level of 2 years is evolving very fast, but rapidly fast. But let's hear. My idea is in 10 years, if we are alive and still friends online, we can check who who pointed the future. So let's hear what's your opinion about next 5 to 10 years. What's happening in the market? Construction, digital.
Yeah, I think that, the best way to look at the next 10 years is to look at the previous 10 years and see what changed. So in 2015, how the different the world was from today. Um, yeah, like it was just the start of social media, like, that's start, but like it was just getting there, getting, like really well shared everywhere. And today we're more like, okay, what's our next step? And of course, AI is a big thing that happened in those 10 years that we haven't had before. So for me, the next 10 years or 5 years in that regard, I think the next 2 to 4 years are going to be crazy good for AI. I think this is where we're going to see so much innovation. And what I do also think is that at some point the interest will wane. AI has been a hot topic for a couple of years now. I think we have a year more to go of interest, not of technology developing. We have a lot more technology developing, but of like public interest. And the reason why I'm saying this is because right now, like I see so much, like I see the sparkle in people's eyes when I like teach about AI and they're like say, wow, I've never considered this. This is crazy. This is so good. Like it can really help me. So this is like I really see this, and I think that might change just because of the waning interest that I expect to happen. But in terms of like the industry and how much technology is used and so on, I think that yeah, we're gonna go more toward using AI for mundane tasks, and where like our jobs will change into the form of like we will communicate more, like we do right now. We will think more, like most of us do, I would say. Um, and then yeah, I think we're just gonna find a perfect balance between using technology and using our powers, and like what are we actually good at? Because right now people tend to overcommit to technology, but then it fails in some ways, or
Mhm.
undercommit to it, and then like they do everything manually. So I think that it's gonna be much more clear in terms of like what I see the industry going. I think that it's gonna happen that we will at some point go toward AI generated buildings and projects. Not that we don't have that right now. We have renders and so on, but like we don't have like a full drawing set that's like AI generated. So I think we're gonna go more to like toward IKEA style buildings, where it's like you choose from a catalog what kind of kitchen or what kind of
Modular,
building you want. Huh?
modular approach.
Exactly. I think that's gonna happen. But like modular, where it's like also pre-produced and you have drawings and so on. I think that's what's gonna happen for most of the industry. Most because like most of the industry still does projects that are not, I don't know, highly crazy in geometry or highly, on something and so on. Like typically you would change foundations, you would change the spot, and so on. But I think that what's also going to happen is like there's going to be more and more requests for so to speak luxury architecture and luxury engineering, where you have a human reviewer to look at stuff. Same
Mm.
thing, like I always give this example, like souvenirs. Whenever I go to a country, if you buy some magnet, it's typically produced in China or somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's why it costs $1. But I don't mind giving $100 to an older lady that maybe is like weaving her basket on the corner of the street, because I know that she's working with her hands. She's giving a piece of her soul to this object, right? And it's handmade. And that's why I think that's what's going to happen with buildings too. We will have a bunch of generated, fabricated buildings that don't really speak much, but then
Social ones, yeah. You
yeah,
would call
we're
it.
also going to have like handmade buildings, so to speak, which are most of
But
them today.
quick question: how do you imagine building site or construction site in the future? Do you expect robots in how many years? I mean, there are already some healthy what I saw. If you know Valentina Jugović, our friend, so I saw that there are some robots. Not so special, but still, they are working 24/7, which is a great value. So in some moment, I think that some workforce will be replaced with machines and robots, where possible, where appropriate, because simply because of productivity and the cutting cost. Simply market will make it. But what else do you expect? I'm just for example, health and safety aspect, commissioning aspect as well, because I think a lot of savings can be done even now if you apply AI, but I would like to hear your opinion.
I think that what's going to happen is that it's going to be a lot more dangerous for knowledge workers, so people like ourselves working behind their screens and laptops, than for construction workers. We will need more hands on deck, and not everything can be automated. And people that have ever worked on a construction site know how messy it is and how disorganized it is. So of course there will be more technology, but in terms of like actually putting the stuff up and making it produced, we will need more hands on deck. So, or I would not say the similar amount of hands on deck, but like it's not going to be as much cost cutting as
You know what I'm
with
also
knowledge
wondering,
work.
for example, if you have machine learning, you're training, for example, a robot for something. I saw the tool, we wanted to apply the tool on Intel's factory in Germany. So there is a camera that is monitoring the behavior of a crane operator. So if he's holding his chest, he cannot breathe or something like that, it automatically stops the crane because it looks like it's a heart attack or something similar. So we wanted to apply the technology on a project. Project unfortunately stopped, but the idea is that I think also health and safety will benefit, make the benefits from the future, because they will look much better organized. Also for the restricted areas, marking them through the applications and sending information to the robots that will put the barriers instead of people. So communication on site will be much better, and construction site will be much safer, in my opinion. But let's hope that it will happen in a couple of years, not a couple of decades.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to have a lot more of those recognition applications to help with health and safety for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for your contribution in Trends in the Future in block 6. So we are closing block 6 and jumping to block 7. Okay, so welcome to block 7 called personal inspiration. So let's start with a couple of questions about your preferences, Stjepan. So the first question, which book, podcast, or person inspires you the most in your professional journey?
So I think that I would like to start this like answer with saying that like a few years ago I was like 24, 25, and I experienced something that a lot of people were joking with me with, and probably are gonna laugh when I say it, but something called quarter life crisis. Okay, and for those
I know
people who
what
would
you
like
mean.
either have never heard of this, like what I think of it is that I think that until that age, I have been following the structure that the world has offered me. I went to school. I listened to my parents. I, went to high school. After high school, I signed up for like, university. I finished my bachelor, finished my master's, and got a job. And after my first job, I got a second job, and I was like, which is like at a company that should have been my dream, right? And what my point is that I followed the rules. I followed the structure that I got, and then I got to age 25, and I'm like, okay, I'm working at this world-class company. I actually enjoy my job. I don't mind it. But I was like, is this it? Like, I was really thinking, like, am I really born to just do this? Like, I felt that I have a lot more capacity and a lot more energy for more. I'm not saying this can happen for everybody. What I'm trying to say is that I do believe that most like jobs aren't there to fulfill the whole you. They're there
Mm,
to fulfill a certain role and need. So what happened with me is that I got this into this crisis. I was like, is this it really? Like, I followed all the rules. Shouldn't I be like the happiest person ever? Like the most content person ever? And that's when I like, I mean, felt maybe a calling, maybe again it sounds weird, but like I did feel a calling that I should start doing more because like I always have this mindset of like, you can't do the same things and expect the different results. So
yeah.
I started posting online, meaning I started sharing my knowledge online on LinkedIn, and people really gravitated toward it because I do believe that I found something that I was like finally born to do. And today, I feel different about work. So as you know, like it's been what is it now? 4 years ever since that moment. In those 4 years, yeah, okay, I got laid off. I also got more than 700 clients. I got 30,000 people following me on LinkedIn. I got like I've seen so much of the world. I've been on so many continents because of my work.
Hmm.
It's just incredible because I didn't settle for the status quo. I didn't settle for like you understand what I mean? I'm not
Yeah.
like yeah, I'm not like I was
Uh,
25 and this is a job and I'm gonna switch to another job and another job. I was like, I feel there's more in me. And of course, like I told you, for some of the things they happened to me, like being laid off, it wasn't like a decision I actively like was like, yeah, I want to be laid off. No, it
yeah.
didn't happen like that. So I think that experience really showed me that if there's anybody feeling the same way, I can just tell you you're not alone, and there is a whole world out there. Um,
Waiting for you to
that
shine.
yeah, exactly.
So did some book have any impact?
Yeah, there is a book. I'm showing it right now on the camera. It's called The Minimalist Entrepreneur, and this book like teaches you how to like, especially if you're starting a business like I did, like from a uh like an abyss of like being laid off and not having a lot of money. Like I had like 6 months savings, um, like to start. So first of all, it teaches you just to start. So you can open the book and the first page it says just start. You know what your next step is. You don't need a book to tell you that. You know what your next step is. Everybody has a dream. Maybe the dream is to open a bakery shop. Maybe it's a t-shirt shop. Maybe it's a hair cutting business. Maybe it's like AI education business. Who knows? Everybody knows what their dream is, what they would like to do,
Yeah.
and we all know the steps to it. Like step number one can just be like Googling how to open a business. Step number two is maybe I can ask ChatGPT for help on like where do I make my website? How do I make it? And so on and so forth. So you actually start all of these things. So just that, because I do believe that every single person on this planet knows what their next step is, if they're like, I would say sane and doing it for a good cause. But another thing that it also teaches you is it tells you to kind of sell before you invest, so to speak. So what I mean is that you want to make sure that you have a critical mass of people wanting to buy your stuff, because sometimes what we people tend to get in love with an idea of things more than the thing itself, and that's a problem when you're an entrepreneur, because like you are putting your time and effort, which is fine, but sometimes you also put a bunch of money. So like I have examples of like even fellow entrepreneurs who would buy all of this expensive equipment because they're like, I'm gonna run I don't know, speaker and microphone or karaoke machine rental shop, and they buy all of this expensive equipment, but in the end it turns out nobody needs this or wants this. So
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is that don't buy the equipment, set up a website where you're renting or selling the equipment, and if you get 100 orders in, then you
Start.
struggle to fulfill those orders. You
Yeah.
understand?
Fully agree.
So
Fully agree.
yeah.
This is the same situation. I'm in the situation waiting for sponsors. So when I get the sponsors, I will start my business. So this is the reason why I want to continue with this channel. Okay, so I think we can close now block 7, personal inspiration, and jump to the final block of today's episode number 3. See you. Okay, so welcome to the final block of today's interview with Stjepan Mikulić, episode 3, of course. So lighting round. This is something where now we take off our engineering glasses and speak about personal preferences. So the first question, coffee or tea?
Coffee, definitely.
Construction site or office?
I've been on a construction site, but I think office is where I shine the most personally. But yeah, I also like to visit a construction site once in a while to actually see the things in real life.
Okay, so you have the feeling when something is when the construction site is progressing, you like to see your design
Oh, of course. I think you
getting
need to
alive.
do it. I think you're like I think
I mean,
there's
sorry, I think
something
this is the
missing.
biggest the biggest advantage of engineers comparing to military people, the army, because we
Yes.
are building, they are demolishing. So it's a fantastic thing, to see
Not
how
only that,
something.
I think that the biggest difference there is like on your note between those two, let's say professions, is that military typically only does things in theory, right? Which is actually a good thing. We don't want more
Yeah,
wars,
yeah, yeah. That's
but they
right.
test all of their like solutions out in theory, whereas actually we have the ability to build stuff in real life and
Test
then
it.
test our
Yeah,
solutions.
fantastic. One software you cannot live without. I think I know the answer, but
What's something I can't live without?
software
A software. Ah, yeah.
starts with N. Yeah,
With N?
yeah. Would you? Is it
What do you think it is?
your product?
Ah, NeoStack.
Yeah,
I yeah, of course, but this would be a biased answer, so I of course understand.
it's your
Um,
favorite.
yeah, I think so. I think it's getting there. I would say it's getting there because like everybody who's ever tried to build stuff like a software, you have ups and downs. One week is like the most amazing week. You get so many confirmations and people want to buy it. Another week is like, oh my God, there's so much to develop still. So I'm kind of experiencing that right now. So yeah, I mean, if I can live without, I mean, that's a good question. I would love not to live without it, so to speak. I would love to have it and develop it to the vision that we have for it. So, yeah.
Okay. So first thing you do when you go to work, first of all, are you working from home or hybrid or mostly from the
I do
office?
a lot of hybrid stuff because I mean, I don't have an office. We don't have a physical office. My employees are all over the world. One is in the Philippines, one is in Nigeria, one is in Serbia, and I'm here in LA. So it's like 4 time zones, 4 continents. So there isn't really an office somewhere in the middle. If it would be like the Atlantis, somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So,
Yeah.
so the first thing I do, I mean, turn on my computer, make some lemon water and coffee, and then we start at it. I think I just answer my emails first, and then LinkedIn,
Is it a
engage a bit.
warm water or cold water when you put the lemon
Warm
inside?
water, yeah, definitely.
Like Novak Djokovic, I know that he is also using
Ah,
that.
yeah, he does the
It's
same.
just
I didn't
super,
know.
super
Yeah,
healthy. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
maybe this is the reason why you're so successful.
I don't think the water is gonna be the reason for success. I think it can help you there for sure because you're gonna be healthier.
Hydration. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not the main reason. Like you can have the best morning routine, but if you don't know what you're doing or if you don't have a really good business model and so on and so forth, you're kind of lost. So yeah, it sounds rough, but it's the truth. So
Okay. And the productivity app on your phone, for example, what app do you consider as the most productive, contributing to
I
your productivity?
I think ChatGPT and Perplexity. I use them for different things. I use ChatGPT for mainly like my assistant on different things and like ideation of stuff and so on. So building and developing new products for both of my businesses. But Perplexity I rely on for search and research. It's the best application for search out there for sure.
Okay. I think this is it for now.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you very much for having time and joining the interview. I think this is one of my best guests I had. Okay, it's three of them so far, but I don't believe that I will have a better guest in the future because you have a unique advantage because you are young and you are enthusiastic, and as you said, quarter life is spent, three quarters is still in front of you. So what you did so far is something that people from three quarters spent haven't achieved. I think people see you and see your presence in the industry. So even if you don't know you personally, it was really great experience, and I'm really feeling privileged to have you in a show. I believe you will be my guest in the future as well. When once you finish your next stage or next chapter in your business. So until then, see you. And if you have some final word, you're welcome to say.
Well, first of all, thank you, man. And the reason why I even said yes to the show is just because of that. So I love entrepreneurship. I didn't know I did it. Like when I was an employee and I would hear the industry slowing down, the projects is slowing down, I would be afraid. I would be like so stressed about my job. But ever since I became an entrepreneur, which is like 100% uncertainty, like, you can go down under tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I just love it. I never stress about like the next step. I don't stress anymore. Like you can stress about certain things like are we gonna develop this in time and so on. But if there's gonna be work, if there's gonna be like jobs, I don't stress about this anymore. I guess it's like you figure out the agility. That's the skill. And one thing I would like to say is that that's why I love entrepreneurship. That's why I love people like yourself who are trying to make a difference. Because one thing that I don't think people should realize, people in jobs, is that you don't realize how great you can become until you give yourself to the open market
That's right.
and you start your own thing, or it can be within a company, it can be for a startup, but you don't really know how great you are. So for anybody feeling limited in their job, it might not be you, it might be the job. So this is what I'm trying to say.
And it's
Try
also
to
like,
give yourself
how
to the
much
open
do you
market.
care about content? Because if you're running your own, not a business, but say your idea, you want to have it perfectly developed. When you're the owner of the idea, when you're not working for the company itself, because
Mm,
sometimes you're not in line with company in most of cases, while your idea
yeah.
is something that leads you and you want to make it perfect. So it's more inspiring to do the stuff for yourself, what you mentioned. So Okay.
I agree. I think we can have another podcast solely on entrepreneurship and how to start a business and how to run it and how to hire people and how to do all of this. I unfortunately needed to learn all of this on my own skin. But yeah, if I have any more ideas for like businesses after NeoStack, for sure. So it's just a matter of time, I think. But yeah, we're getting there slowly but
We can
surely.
also
We're getting
make some panel, in the future where you will share your
sure.
experience
Yeah,
and help others,
I
because
would love to do it.
I know you're not selfish person. You like to share experience. I saw that on LinkedIn.
I'm thankful that they came across like that because yeah, as I told you, I don't believe in competition. The only competition is me yesterday.
Yeah.
I need to be better today than I was yesterday. And if we just keep doing it that way, life, like life beyond your wildest dreams will happen to you, as it's happening to me right now. So
Yeah.
I think this is, I'm just like I would say like, don't take me for anything I do. Take me for like the inspiration you can get from me. I think that's what I would say for most people. Is
It's
like,
really,
yeah,
really
my
smart.
stuff helps people, but like I think more that what I love is like, yeah, sure, this is just like part of what I do, right? And some people are gonna understand that and appreciate that. Some people are not, which is normal. But I think that I guess my main mission is to help more people join the forces of like starting their own thing and being like, because those testimonials, man, when this succeeds, are the best thing ever. They're like, I looked at your stuff, I got inspired, I'm starting my own thing, and like 2 years later they text you, I have my own thing, I want to repay you somehow. I'm like, no need, it's just I'm just happy that people are living out their dreams, because you have one life, man. It's not you know, and you're not getting younger than you are now, so
Yeah.
why not do it?
Okay. So thank you very much once again, and see you in the future.
See you, man.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining Digital Construction Champions. Remember, technology alone does not change construction. People do. Champions do. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and stay connected with our community. See you.